begin in Iraq, where Sunni rebels have claimed even more territory. Fighters for the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or ISIL, are now in control of two border towns in the north. They have also reportedly gained control of the Baji oil refinery after several days of fighting. In Baghdad, the most powerful Shia militia has vowed to fight back. They turned out today in a big show of force. And back here at home, President Obama is laying down conditions for any U.S. military strikes. We'll have more on that story in a moment. But first, Jane Arraf has the latest from Baghdad.
Well, Michael, certainly that tension that we saw before the last civil war here, which dragged this country into brutality and chaos, is emerging again. We've seen those images, and we've seen here on the ground those fighters from the Mahdi Army. Now, the Mahdi Army are followers of Shia cleric Muqtada Sadr, and a lot of people will remember him because he sent people, particularly young men, out into the streets in 2004, 2005 to fight American soldiers. In 2004, they were fighting a bitter battle against the U.S. Army in Najaf, as well as other places in Baghdad. Now they're back. Sadr has basically reorganized them in the show of force that we saw today to send the message that they are here and they will defend Iraq. The really big development, though, Michael, as you mentioned, is at the Syrian border, quite far from Baghdad, but extremely worrying. It's Al-Qaim, which is the main border point with Syria. That crossing, we understand from security sources, has fallen to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, the ISIL. Now, when they moved in, that means, sorry, just to back up a tiny bit, that means there are now fighters from that group, the Al-Qaeda offshoot, on both sides of the border. In fact, there is essentially no border now that they've taken the border post. According to security sources, there is weaponry coming back and forth. It opens up a corridor for the fighters, battle-hardened from Syria, and it is, to many people here, including the Iraqi government, extremely worrying. Michael?
Jane Arraf reporting from Baghdad.